Hello and welcome to this video about the name David. David is one of the most famous names in history and has been widely used for centuries in various cultures and languages. Today we will delve into the meaning, the history, and the cultural significance of the name David. The name David has its roots in the Hebrew language and means beloved. In the Bible, David was a young shepherd who became the second king of Israel. He is known for his bravery, wisdom, and leadership, as well as his love of God. David is also famous for his battles with the giant Goliath in Hebrew, and for being a skilled musician and composer. Throughout history, the name David has been associated with qualities such as kindness, courage, and strength. In literature and art, David is often portrayed as a strong and virtuous figure and has been the subject of countless works of art, music, and poetry. The name David has been popular for centuries and continues to be widely used today. In fact, it is one of the most common names in the world and is popular in many cultures, including English, Spanish, French, German, and more. The common typical way of pronouncing the name David in English is David, and this is how we would write it in Hebrew. The Hebrew pronunciation of the name David is formally David. We stress the last syllable in the word, David. But as we can see with many names in Hebrew, especially today and especially in Israel, we switched from the formal David, emphasizing the last syllable in the word, to David, emphasizing the second to last syllable in the word if we want to say it more fondly or more informally. In Hebrew, you can write the name David with a yud or without a yud. The yud here is used as a vowel for the sound I, David. The first references of the name David did not have a yud in them, and we can see it in the times of the first temple, in the earliest Bible books, whereas in later Bible books, we see the name David with a yud. Both forms are equally correct. David is a man's name and is used both for first and last names. The meaning of David is ahuv, which is beloved in Hebrew. And we have two words in Hebrew that are connected to it, especially in its biblical origins. The first is dod, which is uncle, and the second is yadid, which is friend. In biblical Hebrew, both words, dod and yadid, had another meaning, which is beloved. And we can see that both the word dod, uncle, and yadid, friend, share most, if not all, the letters in the word David, strengthening the connection between the word David and its origin, its meaning, which is beloved, ahuv. We can see this connection, this meaning of the name David coming from the word yadid, friend, in the context of beloved, in reference to Solomon, Shlomo, that was named by Nathan the prophet Yedidia for his love of God. Let's see how it works. Yadid is friend, but in this context, it is beloved. God in Hebrew is many times used using the suffix ya. So here we have two words, beloved and God, creating together the word yedidia. We can see the word uncle, dod, in this context of beloved in the book of Songs. One very famous example is this verse, Hincha yafeh dodi af na'im, which means you are beautiful, my beloved, and delightful. So both dod and yadid mean beloved in biblical Hebrew, the meaning, the origins of the word David. And this is not surprising because David was a prominent figure in the Bible. He is considered one of the greatest and most important kings in the history of the people of Israel, symbolizing the connection to tradition, culture, and the society an individual lives in. The name David is so popular that it was the second most common first name given to babies born in Israel in the years 2018-2019. In Israel, that means less than 3,000 newborns because that is how small Israel is as a country. But it shows its popularity in Israel. And that is no accident. The name David is associated with qualities of a good heart, leadership, spiritual growth, aspiration, courage, and bravery. The Star of David is the symbol of the Jewish people. It is called Magen David in Hebrew. Magen is protector or shield, and David is David. One of the names of the city of Jerusalem is Ir David. Ir is city. David conquered Jerusalem and made it Israel's political and religious center. David is a prominent and popular name across so many cultures and so many languages. These are only some of them. And David is also a surname, so we can see all the variations of the different surnames originating from the name David across cultures and languages. Some very common Israeli variations to the name David as a first name are Dudu, Dudi, Daddy, and Dedi. Look at something interesting. Remember how we said that the name David comes from the word beloved? Let's see how Hebrew is structured and connected. In Hebrew, words are structured based on their sound and root letters. We can see in these active nouns that they are all structured the same. Asir is a prisoner. Pakid is an official or a clerk. Shaliach is an emissary or a messenger person. So all these active nouns have the same sound of A-I, each one with their root letters. Now let's see the passive noun or adjective for these same root letters. If asir is a prisoner, asur is forbidden, the passive adjective of that noun. From asir to asur. Pakid is an official. Pakud is a subordinate. Shaliach is an emissary. Shaluach is dispatched or sent. So when we switch from a-I to a-u in these cases, we switch from active to passive using the same root letters. And we can see the same pattern in David to Ahuv, which linguistically in Hebrew enhances the connection between the name David and its origin meaning in the word Ahuv, beloved. So that is all about the name David. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like, share, and watch these videos for more Hebrew names and names of Hebrew roots. Toda and Shalom.